everybody. Good evening, and we are going to uh, briefly just talk about a few things here. I had a question that I got here in my support today, and I wanna address that, and then I just want to go over just another um, strategy that you can kind of use with some of your written content. I know we've been talking about written content in particular because some of the recommendations I made in particular, Kevin's his LinkedIn PLR. It's going to be going off the launch price tonight. So I'll remind you about that here at the end. Um, let me deal with deal with the question first. And the question was, I have a question about the printables journal you talked about, writing along with our e-learning course. And um, are you saying we should use one of the pre-made journals or day planners after we brand them? Or are you saying to use a template and add our content to them and market them? Yeah. So regardless of how you go about it, I would definitely make the content. Um, I would make the content um, personal. So in other words, I definitely would add the content to whatever was there before I went to Kindle or Create Space. Looks like I have a, visitor here on YouTube. Hello to you. Um, so what I would suggest is that, especially if you're looking to sort of sell this journal and do it as if it were going to be part of your brand, then yeah, you'd want to take the content and then make it branded. And the thing about putting it on Kindle is that it's going to be very inexpensive after all is said and done, in terms of being able to print the right number of journals, or even to have people go to buy the journals from your Amazon page. In particular, you're going to do this, I would definitely have, an Amazon influencer account if you can get one. I don't even know what the process is like to apply for one, but I would definitely do a Google search for Amazon influencer, apply for that program, and then put this journal in the store along with some of your other things. But I would definitely be adding to that content in order to brand it. Answer to this question, I've already answered the question back to the person who wrote this. I wrote it out. I wrote the answer out to them, and so excuse me. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to just send them to me and support. And just as an aside, even though I have this group, support is always the fastest way to get a hold of me. So you got a question, you need me to do something, you need me to take a look at something. If you're an ultimate insider, you already know that's the best way to get a hold of me. But if you just kind of want my attention about something, or Laurel's attention, fastest way to do that is through our support. Okay, so I'm going to turn off my video here, and let's just get into another strategy for written content, right? All right. So here's another written content strategy, right? Written content. I guess I could say written PLR strategy. So take any PLR product that you have, any written PLR product that you're going to get. And then what you're going to go and do is you will then take that subject and you're going to go and look for Kindle authors. And in the past, I've said you want to look for any author that's going to have a book that's in Kindle Unlimited. And the main reason for that is that if you have a subscription to Kindle Unlimited, you can then get that book and read it for free before you actually get together and interview that person. You don't have to have them send you a review copy. You'd already have it because you have Kindle Unlimited. It's $10 a month, and then you can kind of do that strategy that way. So you want to find those people. You also want to find Skillshare and Udemy creators. The reason you're going to find these three creators is because what we're going to do is we're going to interview these people. And we're going to interview these people based on what the content says. So in other words, you shouldn't have to come up with questions. You should be able to read your PLR product to know what the main topics are. And even if you don't, you can just take the subject header, right? Take the most important point from each of the chapter headings in order to formulate your questions. So you're going to interview these people: Skillshare authors, Udemy creators, and Kindle authors. And these are going to be people who want promotion. And so they will probably be more likely to say yes to you as an interview subject, and definitely be upfront with them and tell them what you're going to be doing. Then you're going to edit that interview to give it away as PLR or to sell it. So in other words, you're going to do the interview and then you're going to edit it, and you're going to edit out personal references. Don't edit out the author's personal reference, but you're going to edit out your personal references. So, in other words, anything that looks like you said it or you said your name or anything like that, especially if you have it transcribed, edit that out so that somebody else could use the content. And then what you're going to do is, yeah, create useful content for others to use. I mean, you could have it transcribed. If you did an interview, an audio or a video interview, you could have it transcribed. You could take that interview, you could turn it into a cheat sheet, you could turn it into a resource, a resource guide. You could turn it into anything, but create something that's useful for a person. Um, then what you're going to do is look for launches that match your subject. And the reason you're going to do that is, and I didn't really write out all of this, but here's my thinking behind that. If you're able to find launches that match your subject, you go to that person that's got a launch, and you offer them to be able to put a high quality bonus into their launch. The reason for that is that if they can use that bonus in order to, in order to help them to sell their product more, what you want is a prominent placement on their download page so that people will have to opt in to get your high quality bonus, right? So typically you're going to have a relationship with somebody in order to do that. I mean, even if, people have come to me with that, if I don't know them and I don't know that it's going to be content, high quality content, and I don't have time to look at it. And typically a lot of people who are creating products don't, that they might say, no, it's not personal. But I would say if you can do this early on, when you find out about a launch and you go through this process and you create this content, you go to that person, you say, hey, you know what? I interviewed, the Oprah of LinkedIn. And so, or the Roger Federer of tennis, whoever that is. And you say that you want to allow them to use that as your bonus, as long as they'll put it on their download page with your opt-in and an image, right? So that's really the strategy behind that. Then, yeah, so look for, you could do this so that you wouldn't undertake the process until you got a yes from a person who would say they're going to do this with you in your launch. But if you don't not do this because you can't find somebody to put you on their download page, this is still a viable strategy, even if you can't find anybody to do that. Um, let's see. This is something I'm going to skip through this. This was something else that I did. Okay, so you're going to record the interview in two parts, right? You're going to record the interview in two parts. So part one is going to be just for the opt-in, right? So when you get to the halfway point, let's say the interview is 40 minutes. What you're going to say at the end of that 20 minutes is something like, we're going to be, Charles and I are going to get into some more advanced content right now, or some advanced principles. If you want the rest of this interview, stay tuned for details. That's what you'll say in your interview. So you're going to record part two with the author or whoever it is. And part two is going to be the more advanced stuff. Now, the only people that are going to get that is if they buy something from you, right? Part one, they're going to get just by opting in. Part two, they're going to get if they buy something from you. And you're going to tease part two and part one. So in other words, you're going to say to people, if you want the more advanced version, or you want to hear more from Chad's here. You want to hear more from Chad, then you're going to want to get part two, and part two you'll get if you pick up the product, right? Something like that. Um, you want to set up this as an opt-in, as a Warrior Plus free download, as a JVZoo buy free download, right? So either way, in any of those, you can set them up on all of these, right? So it doesn't matter. So you're going to set all of these up, and then you're going to actually put this together in a funnel. So your back-end product is going to be the actual product, right? So whatever it is, if it's in this case, if you were using LinkedIn, it's going to be the LinkedIn product. If you're doing, Instagram Reels, it's going to be the Instagram Reels product, along with your part two of the interview. So because typically PLR will kind of come at this um, at a strategic level, but if you really want to get down and dirty into the details, that's what you want to bring those experts in to add to your content to make it unique. So once again, you get the opt-in, you get them to opt in for part one, and then the funnel is that once they opt in, they immediately get to see that other offer, which is going to be your front end offer, but it's going to have in there that part two of your interview, right? So, and you've already teased that in the interview, they can go back and get it. Um, so you're right, right, yeah. So the front end offer should have one bonus, and that's going to be part two of your interview, right? So basically, what you're doing, and I've seen it where some people will promote this for you, right? So you got something really good, and then you actually are promoting this. Now, obviously, you can't promote it as PLR necessarily, because you're using the PLR, as your product. But on the front end, you can use it as PLR because that's your original content, right? You could give away PLR rights to that first part of the interview. And if they want the second part of the interview, they've got to buy that other product. And then within there, you're going to give them that part too. Um, okay, so any questions? Any questions about that strategy? Any questions? Okay, so once again, Kevin's PLR is going off the launch price tonight at midnight. Pick that up at the plrshow.com/Kevin F. Tonight is Sunday, the 18th. So if you're seeing this, you can still pick that up tonight up to midnight Eastern Standard Time. The Instagram PLR project is plrshow.com/vfire. We've got bonuses over there. And then the printables PLR is plrshow.com/Alice S. Now, the slide that I skipped through, I'll go through that tomorrow because basically I wanted to answer the question and I wanted to kind of walk you through how I would go about and how I may even go about using the printables, in particular when it comes to a particular niche. Okay, so thanks very much for hanging out with me, everybody. I'm going to do these until Laurel is back, and she is still out in Vegas helping out with her mom. So, with that, thanks very much for hanging out with me, everybody. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.